So, the whole purpose of today, well, the whole purpose of this video, sorry, having to look at my ugly mug. The whole purpose of this video today is I want to talk about setup, guitar setup. So, you have these people that are like, oh, I just got this brand new guitar and and it doesn't sound the way I want it to. I need these pickups. I need those pickups. I need, these strings. I need those strings. When the reality is that when you have certain types of guitars that have certain types of pickups in them, that you probably just need to learn how to set your guitar up better, right? So I'm actually pretty guilty of this. There we go. Wipe that away. Get rid of the light glares. I'm actually pretty guilty of this. So when I was younger, I kind of operated under the you just grab it and play, thing. And I didn't really pay much attention to it. Well, when I started getting these guitars as an adult, I was like, well, they don't sound the way that they do on these videos that people are showing when they're demonstrating them. So why not? Well, when you go to these big box stores, say like, unfortunately, I love Guitar Center, but like when you go to Guitar Center, the techs that get these things, they just put them together, or they arrive already put together from the factory. The techs don't take the time to take a machinist ruler and ensure that the measurements from the pickups to the strings are where they should be. And I found this out several times the hard way. So I guess the techs just don't have the time. They don't want to do it. I don't know. Or they just want you to pay, $65 for their intonation fee. So that being said, there are certain places that will do this for you. Sweetwater is one of them. I know this from experience. They will set it up. They'll set it up to their tolerances, though. And I believe, like, everything that I've gotten from Sweetwater, when I've gotten stuff from them, I think I want to say their tolerances are, like, at the bridge, it's 3/16, and at the neck, I want to say it's, like, 3/32. So you need a machinist ruler to get these measurements. You can't use a tape measure, and everybody's oh, I can't go to Lowe's or anything. Well, you can get one for $4 on Amazon Prime. I got two of them actually. Two of them for $4 and like 86 cents Prime delivered to my door. So knowing that, and then knowing what these tolerances are, and I'm not going to give out these tolerances because I feel like everybody should do some research on their own to figure out what these tolerances are. And not only that, just because, Gibson or ESP or whatever brand model guitar you have says, it should be this measurement or that measurement, doesn't mean it's going to sound that great to your ear, right? So, like, I think the new measurement Gibson said for Les Paul style guitars is 1/16. I put my ESP on 1/16 of an inch and it sounds like shit. There's no other way to put it. It just sounds muddy. It just sounds like crap. So take it down to 3/16. Pretty good. Perfect. Don't mind it. Like it. Matter of fact, sounds pretty close to PAF pickups for Seymour Duncan's as you're going to get. On the neck, I like 3/32. There's no other way to put it. But you do need a machinist ruler to do this. The other thing is and a lot of people, how to restring your guitar, but do you really know how to perform an intonation, right? So say you change the gauge of strings on your guitars. You go from 9s to 10s, or, I think I play 10/52s, right? So down on the bottom half, it's really low. So I've really got to, I've got to raise the bridge or I've got to lower the pickups, one of the two, make sure I don't have fret buzz, right? Make sure that the strings are the proper height from the pickup to get that. And if you don't know how to perform an intonation on these two pneumatic bridges or anything like that, well, you're kind of in trouble. And these are basic things. These are basic things that I do now. I like every guitar I grab and pick up and play. I'm always making sure that it's within its tolerances. I just, set to the measurements that I like. Why? Because it's what I like. It's what I want to hear. So even my son's bass, I took and I put it where I wanted it because that was the optimal sound. He doesn't know any better. He's 11 years old. He doesn't know any better. But that's the optimal sound that you're going to get. So the whole importance of this is really at this point is me saying, hey, you don't need a new set of pickups unless you've got like some like $5 pickups that you got off on Amazon or, it came with one of these Les Paul kits, that, you didn't get the pickup upgrade. Aside from that, I think what you need to do is look at the tolerances for your pickups, see what the proper height should be, then get a machinist ruler, and then set that at the proper height, at what it says that these tolerances should be. If it doesn't sound right, start playing with it. You're not going to get it so out of tune or out of whack that it can't be reversed. Start playing with it until it sounds right, right? Don't want to buy a machinist ruler? There's some tutorials online that teach you how to use dimes and nickels for your measurements. So you can do that as well. I personally don't like this method. It's just me being anal. But I personally don't like this method. Does it work? Man, it's probably worked for a lot of people. I bet it does. But I prefer to just have a ruler right there. I pop it, I look down, push the last fret, look down. It's where I want it. But most of all, the biggest thing that I listen for is here. So if everything's set up and everything is, perfect and it still doesn't sound right, now maybe it's time to look at getting some pickups. But just getting a guitar that you spent 5, 6, 7, maybe even upwards of $2,000 for, or more, some people for Les Pauls, and you're like, my multi-$100,000 guitar doesn't sound the way I want it to. Was it set up right? Right? The techs at Guitar Center aren't going to ask you that. They're not going to go, is it set up right? Do you know how to set it up? No, and they're not even going to take the time to show you. Why? That's why. So, take the time, find some videos. Daryl Braun, I want to say he has some really good videos on setting up your guitars, setting up your tolerances where you want them. What's the Elixir Strings has a really good series for free on their website. You don't even have to subscribe to them. That'll teach you how to set the neck, how to set the bridge, how to set everything, even your intonation, right? And if above all else, if you've still performed all of those things and your guitar sounds like crap, it's either time to change pickups or how well do you know your amp? Right? Are you one of those people that just grabbed it and you plug and play and you hope for the best? Or did you take the time to get to know what the gain knob does, what the level knob does, what your EQ does, what happens if you turn this knob, what happens if you turn that knob, right? Guitar playing isn't just plug and play anymore. It's not. It used to be, you could grab your head, grab your cab, and then you're good to go, and what you saw is what you got. You kind of played with your EQ, you got it where you wanted it, and that was it. It's not that way anymore. It's just really not, because people aren't interested in giving you a quality product straight from the get-go. They're just interested in mass producing these products, right? And getting them out to you. And sure, it may play fine out of the box, but can it play better? I bet it can. So if you have taken the time to adjust your pickup height, make sure it's in proper intonation, you know your amp well, you've got it set the way that you want it, and it still sounds like crap, maybe you want to get the possibility of getting a new set of pickups, but only then, and my whole purpose here is, like, I'm an old guy. Look, like, I'm 40 years old, coming up on 41, like, in December later this year. I've been doing this for a long time, and these are a lot of things that I wish that people had taught me when I was younger that would have, A, saved me a lot of money, and B, saved me a lot of stress. I'd spent so much time chasing this tone and going, oh, it doesn't sound like, that it drove me nuts, Learn to set up your guitars. Like, I wish when I was 12 years old and my parents handed me a guitar that they would have, like, taken me to a luthier or something and said, hey, teach him how to set this thing up. Nowadays with YouTube and everything else, there's so many videos you can find on how to set up your guitar, how to get it right. Use that. Save yourself some money, I promise you. And, get to know your guitar. And if it still sounds like crap after you've spent like 6 weeks and you've gotten all these tolerances correct, maybe it's time for some Seymour Duncans or some Burst Buckers, whatever it is that you prefer. But until you've done all those things, maybe do a little research first and figure out what you want. That's your tip for now. Until then, later.